Good evening, everyone. This is Henry Gambell with SimplerOptions.com, and in tonight's free video I wanted to share some ideas that I've got with you here in the Dow. So when we come up and look at the Dow, of course we are up here making new lifetime highs, and when you're approaching something like this, I think it is very difficult to come in and try and say, oh, this is going to be the top. Are we extended? Sure, to some degree, but you could have made that argument back here, kind of towards the middle of November, etc., etc., and it continues just to extend itself further. So, just thinking that it's going to go higher for that reasoning, and then also coming back and looking at the 2-hour squeeze, you don't have to take my word for it, but here's a signal where we've got fresh off the 2-hour. Here's something very similar that we saw previously, and you can see the results of that move. So in that way of thinking, I'm thinking the Dow is going to go higher, but I'm not really crazy about coming in and buying that. So from that point of view, what you can do is drop down and drill down into the index to find some of its key components. A couple that I'm looking at as we head into the next couple of weeks, one of which is going to be Nike. So when you look at a chart like this and you think, okay, the Dow is essentially looking for it to make a move higher, how might I come in and play some of these individual components? Well, the three that I'm going to look at with you this afternoon each carry very different ways of looking at this. And when you come in and look at Nike, I think it's fair to say that we may be trying to work a little bit of a reversal from 50, but it's not really something that I'm crazy about coming in and trading counter trend or coming in and just aggressively buying it. Also, you'll notice that when you look at the implied volatility, comparing these two various expirations, there is a sharp contrast between the two. This series will revolve around earnings, and that's why we have the higher implied volatility. So to make a long story short, and if you're looking for a trade here, I think buying a straddle out into the earnings series is a good way to look for a trade over the course of the next 5 to 10 days. And then if you want to try and sell a put option, that will skip over the implied volatility and try to benefit off the idea of the Dow moving higher and Nike participating with it. Okay, for me that's a little bit more of an earnings idea, but it may not be bad if you're looking for a directional play. One place that I think is going to look a lot better than these is over in XOM. So this is another of the Dow components, and the way that I like looking at this chart, we discussed this a little bit in yesterday's free video, is just recognizing its relationship to the 10-week simple moving average. Now, it's not a huge move right here by any means, but I think there's a move coming. You can see how previously when we crossed that 10 and 34, we got a very nice move off the weekly squeeze, and this is what I'm preemptively trying to get involved with here. So I've started accumulating a position that is out in February, looking for that squeeze to fire long, and I think that's going to be the better actual performer of this group. And then the third that I had is here with 3M. You can see that it too is right on the cusp of trying to make this decision against the 34 on the weekly, right there in conjunction with the 10. That's where I'm looking for either a shift in trend or a continuation. Right now it bodes for me for the continuation, though it's not necessarily an easy move to make. Keep an eye on your daily squeeze, and if you can start to see some strength off the 200-day moving average, this might be favorable for a put credit spread, but ultimately at the end of the day, I like Nike neutral into earnings, long if you're playing the volatility series, look for a significant rally in XOM, and then you can kind of use 3M as a throwback if you're looking for a little bit of an additional ticker to do something with. So those are three of the Dow components that I'm going to be following as we head into the end of this week. And then I also wanted to make sure that you were all aware of the class that Carolyn is going to be doing this weekend. So she's going to be focused on taking this type of work and then finding intricate or intraday triggers to get into this type of work based off of Fibonacci analysis. So Carolyn has been a huge part of learning what I have done with this type of work, and of course breaking it down into the intraday stuff will suit short-term traders a lot better. And if that is something you are interested in, that'll be going on this weekend, and then we will have live trading with it as well. So I hope you guys find that helpful. Have a great rest of your evening, and we'll touch base with the next free video.